YouTube channel at QTV Gambia. Well, joining me in the studio to discuss more about this road safety, of course, we are focusing on pedestrian safety. And then with me in the studio, I have Mr. Bakari Mane from the National Authority, and Esa Drame, Director of Planning at the Ministry of Works, Transport and Infrastructure, and Chief Inspector Amadou Bojang from Community Policing. Gentlemen, welcome to this program.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, Esa, I will start with you as the Director of Planning at the Ministry of Work. You're talking about pedestrian safety. Who is a pedestrian, and how will you explain pedestrian safety?
Thanks, very much, Mr. Cisse. Pedestrian is anybody, who is not, using the vehicle, the ones, who walks, along, the road, they are pedestrians. It's very important to focus our discussion on the pedestrians, in many fold, because these categories of road users, they are vulnerable. In a sense, the priority is normally given, to the vehicular, traffic when we are doing our planning. So if you look at the global statistics for the developing countries, about 37% of the fatalities as a result of road accidents are pedestrians. If you look at maybe the developed countries, that one, the average is about 22. So it means for developing countries like ours, it's really a concern. And then if you look at the percentage, it's really high, considering the fact that these people they are not driving, but other people are driving, but for them, as a result of circumstance, maybe they standing along the road, they trying to cross, or they walking, and they are hit by cars. It's very unfortunate. And then again, if you look at the statistics also, most of the pedestrians deaths occur in rural areas. And the Gambia, maybe the statistics also you can attest to this, because I can tell you on the 29th of last month, I was in Kintekunda. One child was hit.
That's in Badibo.
In Badibo, was hit by a car. He died instantly. And on Monday, 22nd, another child was hit. And these children are under the age of 8. It's very serious. So that's why the topic at hand today is very important.
Well, Mr. Mane, you've heard from Drame talking about the statistics, the number of people that have died over the years as a result of these road accidents. Of course, these are pedestrians, they are not even using the vehicle; they are just perhaps walking by the road. What is the role of NRA in this whole thing?
Thank you once again, Mr. Cisse, and we are glad to be here. It's important, the National Roads Authority, as our name implies, we are the custodians of all roads and bridges in this country. So we have a take in pedestrian safety because we build roads. And of course, on these roads, we have a space for the pedestrians, or we cater for pedestrians. Pedestrians, we have a pedestrian crossing at certain areas, like public places where necessary. That those are zebra crossings. And on the other hand, we also have the pedestrians, what we call a footpath. That is what is catered for pedestrians to use beside the road. The road itself, infrastructure itself is what we call a carriageway, whether it's dual or single. Here, our carriage road, highway or carriage road in the Gambia is only 2 lane. That is going and coming. And beside that, you have 1.5 in either side of the road, which we call shoulders. And the shoulders are places where pedestrians use as their footpath. And you go to other areas, we have a drain beside the road, like the Westwell Brikama Highway, and we have the drainage already, and it's covered, concrete slab, and on top of that, that's what is catered for pedestrians to use as their footpath. But what is more worrying in the Gambia here, I think sensitization also lacked, because the pedestrians themselves, most of them doesn't know how to use the road. You go to a place where we have a zebra crossing, you will see pedestrians, some of them will be even crossing before the zebra crossings, and some will even prefer, they can, for pedestrians, they think they can cross the road anytime, at any moment, at anywhere, which is wrong. That's why we have a point where it's designated only for road user. Those are the pedestrians to use as crossing that a particular road. So eventually the sensitization has to go to directed to the pedestrians themselves. They should know when to cross the road, how to use those footpath meant for them, for their footpath, where they should be walking, and the zebra crossings too. They should know. It's not, we have a zebra crossing and you can come and cross the road at any time because there's a zebra crossing. The zebra crossing itself has a law. And individually you come, traffic is high or whatsoever, you cannot just come and cross because this is where you should cross. You think it's your right. No, when you come, there are rules that you have to observe, that you have to stop first and look your left and right. When vehicles, drivers saw you, one or two, you start building a number, they will give you a way to cross. And there's a way, when you're crossing, is put it in this phase that you have to do it in hurry. You cross the road and allow the traffic to flow back. But the other aspect where we also having a problem, pedestrians footpath, now that one also within the urban areas here, we are seeing Serekunda and everywhere. Petty traders are using the footpath selling, where the pedestrians should use as a footpath. So in essence, when they put up things, their goods to be selling on the footpath, you drive in, them or not to be using that footpath. Instead, they go on the lane. That is the lane provided for the vehicle. So in doing so, vehicles everywhere, following them, then you start to build up that unnecessary traffic jams everywhere, because the footpath is being used as a market for the vendors or whoever is selling along those roads. So these are the problems that the pedestrians are facing. The danger one is the drivers driving on the footpath, leaving the lane, driving the footpath, making a lane instead of a one lane, 2 lane, making it 3 or 4. And this is where most of the pedestrians are being knocked by the cars. It's a pity. But on the side of National Roads Authority, we are not only building roads. We build roads, we have pedestrians, we cater for pedestrians. That's the footpath. The footpath is meant for both the pedestrians, even the driver, alighting and picking the passengers off and something like that on the road. So those are the facilities we have for the pedestrians. And like I said, what is lacking now is sensitization. We need to be doing more of what we're doing now, not only on this platform, but all the platforms. It's everybody's concern. Road safety, pedestrian safety, because like Director said yesterday when we have in the same program or other TV, he said all drivers are pedestrians. Not all pedestrians are drivers. So we are all pedestrians, one way or the other, even though we all drive. There are points that we park a vehicle and you want to cross the road, or you want to use the footpath to go and do your business. So we had to, pedestrians, we really had to, secure their safety on the road. Each time they want to use the road, or each time they're using the road, we had to maintain those laws, and we make sure we apply the laws, our traffic laws.
If you look at it, I think the problem is that so many people, as you said, they don't know about this. No,
they don't.
Rules you're talking about as far as traffic is concerned.
Yes.
But then, what are the type of pedestrians that you think drivers should really pay attention to?
Here, I think generally, if I had to rate it, the drivers don't respect pedestrians. You will see people who wanted to cross the road because there's a zebra crossing. You see traffic flowing. Only few drivers will give them a way to cross. I mean, we are not considering them on the road. And the road is road users. It's not only vehicles and motorcycles. I mean, they said all road is for all users, all type of users. So pedestrians fall. They also they are road users. Of course, roads is here for everybody. It's here for all categories. So we need to give way to each category, and we will respect them. When each time we see them on the road, we know the road belongs to everybody. It's for everybody. So each time they had to use a particular crossing, we should give them that priority for them to go and do their business.
Thank you very much, Bakari Mane from the National Roads Authority. Just to remind you, this is a live broadcast. I'm here with officials from the Ministry of Transport and, of course, Mr. Bojang from the police. We are discussing about pedestrian safety, and then just to remind you once again, we are also broadcasting live on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. If you want to be part of the program, you can call later 5050505 or 3333122. You can call later on the program just to share your views and ask any questions that is in relation to pedestrian safety that we are talking about today. Chief Inspector Amadou Bojang, you're here. I mean, just a similar question. What is the role of the police in this whole pedestrian safety? Certainly, your men are always on the highway trying to monitor traffic. What do you think should be their role?
Thank you very much. Their role is to save life and property, life of pedestrians on the road. This is why we have the traffic control and the traffic management. All over within the West Coast and Cape and Greater Banjul area, even in the provinces, you have traffic officers along the road, where these are busy places where people used to cross hospitals and schools. We always go early in the morning and closing hours on the road, so that to see that pedestrians can cross the road freely without any problem from where they are going.
Do we have any laws sort of that actually dictates how offenders are dealt with?
Yes, laws are there, and then they are implemented by the police. If you come across these laws that you cause an accident or you cause any traffic violation, the police will serve you and you appear in court, or they will give a spot fine. At the spot, they give a fine, you go and pay.
But how often do you receive reports of a pedestrian being knocked by a vehicle or that sort of?
Almost every week or every month we have reports from officers on the road that a vehicle knocked a pedestrian on the road, either by walking or crossing or standing, waiting for another vehicle to come. A vehicle will knock the person on the road.
Quite interesting.
Yeah.
Dami, you've heard from Mane speaking about some of these, as you call it, the zebra crossing and all that. I mean, some people will argue that most of these things are not actually visible on our highways. And you being the Director of Planning at the Ministry of Works and Transport, is that the case?
Yeah, the truth of the matter in our infrastructure planning and development is not pedestrians focus. Our focus is on how to move the vehicles. But the pedestrians or other vulnerable road users, they're not given the privilege as they should when we are doing the design. I can explain, because if you look at most of the roads, the existing roads, they don't have facilities for the pedestrians. If you look at these Westfield, Tabokoto roads, the area the pedestrians use is a drainage. It's a drainage which is covered, but normally in the built-up areas like that road, you should have a footpath for the pedestrians, and also there should be another area that is designated for the cyclists or the other, vulnerable, road or disabled, users. Because the current thinking is even like, you don't mix the facilities, for pedestrians, and the cyclists, because normally there is a conflict, if you do that. So there is a need, to shift our, thinking to a pedestrians, focus, infrastructure, planning. That is, how, to facilitate, the movement, of the pedestrians, instead of, the vehicles.
How do we do that?
Yeah, because if you look at, the areas, like, Serekunda, where you have, the mixed, traffic around the market area, around the mosque, area. In other developed countries, if you go there, they will restrict, the movement of, vehicles in those, areas. They will design the road in such a way that, the vehicles, will not have access, to that, place. It's like, they will create, boulders or whatsoever, to prevent, vehicles, from using the area, and then the pedestrians, will use the area, freely. But, if you go to the Serekunda market area today, you will see mixed traffic. You will see, trucks. You will see all kind of, vehicles, mixing, with people. That itself, is a hazard. So that's why, there is this, need for a reorientation in our planning. The way, we see, the pedestrians, they are equal, road users as, the motorists. But unfortunately, they are not given the privilege that they should be. That is the infrastructure part. If you come to the legislations or the laws, that we have, they don't, put, the pedestrians also in the privileged, position to be privileged, road, users. And there are, a lot of, risks or hazards, that put, pedestrians in a disadvantaged, position. You have, speeding. Normally in the built-up areas, around the urban areas, the speed limit should not be more than 30 kilometers, per hour. But, in some of, the roads, that you have in the built-up areas, you see, the vehicles, the speed. That is a very big, hazard, for the pedestrians. Another hazard, for the pedestrians is this, distractions. Distractions, the drivers, using the mobile phone. Obviously, if you are busy on your phone, and then there is a pedestrian, who is crossing in front of you, you will not see. But that one too is both ways, because, the pedestrians also, if you are using the mobile phone, that also, can put you in a very, dangerous, position as far as, road accident is concerned. And another hazard is the, driving. Someone, who is, drunk, that one, if you want to cross, he can just, hit you, with the vehicle. So, there are a lot of, risks, that are associated to the pedestrians, using the roads. And then we should come up, with, measures, to prevent, them, because they are kind of, vulnerable. And then all measures, should be put in place, to protect, them. Yeah.
Mr. Mane, briefly, talking about the issue of planning that Mr. Drame has just raised, in your opinion, where do we start?
Where we start is a concern, and yes, we need to go back to the drawing room and come up with a better thinking. Gambia officially is not demarcated. Gambia, our planning is zero. Before putting on the infrastructure, when we have a better planning system, then we have a better space. We can cater for what he's talking about. But NRA would like to build a road, a particular place. When we go there, where to put that road for the movement to reduce the volume of traffic from the highways, that the trunk road. Our first challenge is, the way, the narrow that road is, and first we have to cater for compensation. sometimes the compensation package is even more than the cost of the road. So eventually, we don't have that proper planning for our roads. I mean, normally, I mean, Banjul is the only, properly or officially demarcated place in the Gambia. That is even done by our colonial masters, not Gambians. So this combo and the rural areas, we don't have it. So it's a problem. Our problem here is planning. Yes. The planning, our planning is zero. And in order to have these facilities that we're talking about, we need to have a proper planned area. Right now, our major challenge that we have in our current famous project coming, this is OIC, it's all about compensation. We want to put up a structure, this infrastructure, these roads, we don't have even enough space. These 20 additional roads that we have to put in the Greater Banjul area, we are saying the minimum space that we need is 14 meters. It's sad that some areas you don't even have 10 meters, fence to fence.
Interesting.
And there are very, very expensive structures within or along that road. So Gambia, our problem is we have to come back to planning first. We have to institutional reform. We have to reform that planning sector. Then when we have that, we have a better space. We can be catering for most of these things. Then I think that's from there our problem will be almost 80 or 90% solved.
Thank you very much, Bakari Mane. Well, viewers, just to remind you, you're watching QTV. We're broadcasting live from our studio behind QCell building around Kairaba Avenue. I am Aliou Sise. Like I said, I'm here with officials from the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure. We're talking about a very important issue, pedestrian safety. I know at the moment everyone's mind is on the COVID-19 pandemic, but this is also another issue that is taking the lives of so many people in this country. And there's the need for that awareness raising to help people understand about the need to ensure that people are safe on the roads. Well, Badingol melbe QTV jube kang this live broadcast flente me broadcast live from no studio melbe Kairaba Avenue ndalem Aliou Cissé bidung ning modole be nyamel ko yibota Ministry of Works, Transport and Police of Anabe Jane Chief Inspector Amadou Bojang be men kacha kan wala mu asidangol mel ka kesilo kan ika mol mel takesilo kan ika jodol mo jama ika fa wotore bidung membe je wala mu Esa Dramati atlemu Director of Planning, Ministry of Works, and Bakari Mane, Wobora National Road Authority, and then Chief Inspector Amadou Bojang at the Fanabora Community Policing. Isa just ngadomadi for local kado akumera bakale ibajele molu mela ko ibe new programme jube kan itol fansa long ngamene kachanu to ngoto just kalde mani fana nyala peka daka fo new programme to alsit 5050505 wala double free 122 as a commander keno ali ala kan wala fa any programme to isa just briefly be men kacha kan angal kan to pedestrian safety nyamoy pedestrian safety munen woti.
Okay, abaraka bake Aliou comme nga fo nyameng ka fa meni pedestrians wala mol meni alon ko ikatara tamakan silo kan meni alon ko ikatara be cross la silo la wala mo pedestrian old so ne ajube nyim molo teng ila kuwa kumayata bakele because it all mang moto soto it all bikatara bulare moto kono. So menu be moto kono wolu wolle ye bulata position kono me alon ko ise mantora no and ne ajube coming statistics men yalon ko ka fa nyin kola men yalon ko in tamalalem moto dolbe je katara lorenne moto ena yi taki dolbe je kalafle
yes I understand there's a caller. Yes, hello caller.
Hello, assalamu alaikum Aliou.
Wa alaikum salam.
Aliou, I am sitting right in front of you enjoying this program.
Thank you so much. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Babu Cisse and I'm calling from Kunkujang.
All right, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it's a very, very important program, as you said.
Okay.
We are now definitely facing with lots of difficulties with regards to the COVID-19 pandemic. And with this, many people are sitting at home watching this program because of the social distances, and many people don't want to go out for now. So it's a very good opportunity for people to learn about road safety and others. So pedestrian safety is very, very important in this country, because as you rightly mentioned, what we lack is planning. In this country, we don't have good physical planning that plans about roads and other things, which is very important. Setting of roads is one of the most important things that we have to put into consideration in this country, because mobile is also one of the things. When we have good mobile system, that means we will have a very strong economy. But if you look at it, many people are affected in this case because what we lack is good physical planning. If I can tell you one of the cases, I had a compound that I was trying to to get documented, and I was asked to go to physical planning. You go to physical planning, they will ask you to pay them money. You pay them money, and they will not even come to the site to view the site, but they will use Google Maps to draw their planning. And Zambia is not demarcated, as this man just rightly said, the NRA guy. We are not demarcating our lands as it is supposed to be. And it is zebra crossing there. Just stand by the zebra crossing 1 hour and then you observe. Drivers don't even respect the zebra crossing. You will see somebody who will be standing at the zebra crossing. The person knows that this is the position where I should stand and be given the chance to cross, but the drivers don't know. So they keep on moving until the pedestrian has to wave their hands to be given the chance to cross.
Yeah, that's a sad reality.
This is all because we are not trained. We are not trained on traffic rules. We are not trained on how to cross the traffic.
Thank you so much, caller. I mean, quite interesting point there raised by the caller.
And I think one more thing. I will like QTV to have this program all the time, and also to put on safety measures, and also to be giving it as a sort of an advertisement or something over the TV, so that people will be watching it every day. People would be knowing that this is what I am supposed to do, this is how I'm supposed to cross the road. Because we are using this COVID-19, we are sensitizing people how to wash their hands, how to prevent themselves. Let them sensitize people also how to cross their roads. Because the police officers, they are doing their own side. They are working tirelessly. You see the police officers standing under the sun doing their job, but police officers can never be everywhere in this country. You cannot put a police officer every 10 meters on the road. It's not possible.
Thank you so much.
We don't even have that manpower.
Thank you so much, caller. You've raised quite very important points. I know others are also on the line, want you to come into their views to whatever we are talking about here today. Bakary, denga kilumwa, wanalu wahyu am solo. Tay ñi ngi waxtaan li nga mo nek pedestrian safety. So ñu ko mëne tenkal ci Olaf rek. So déggé pedestrian safety, la moy pedestrian safety ak la mo ta limu am solo.
Si c'est jërëjëf pédestrian mooy doxkat ci tànk yi dox ak tànkam si kaw yoon bi mooy doxkat daal kaaraange doxkat si kaw yoon bi am na solo parce que comme ni ma ko waxoon si kalamin anglais mooy naka dawalkat yi oto yi yëpp doxkat yi naka doxkat yi la si kaw yoon bi pédestrian waaye not naka
waaye képp koy dawal moto doxkat nga waaye nekkul ku nekk dokkat moo nekk driver
parce que ñëpp amul oto waaw correct parce que ñëpp amul oto so dina am na solo lool pour ñun nañ commencé suñu boppa ñun pédestrian maanaam ñun dokkat yi ndax am nañ sarta yi si kaw yoon bi te saa yoo ne bés bu ne tali bi foo ñu dem foo ñu jëfandikoo ak tali bi.
I understand there's another caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to the program.
How are you guys?
Good. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Lyman Diba. I am calling from National.
All right, welcome to the program.
One thing I don't understand is like when a vehicle hit someone's vehicle deliberately.
Okay.
And the police bail that vehicle, that individual vehicle, that very night or that very day.
Okay.
The one that offended the other one, that vehicle will be bailed that very day. You know, without even paying that other vehicle or without the court proceedings is not been made. Is that fair?
Well, Chief Inspector Amadou Bojang is here to respond to that question. Chief, you have had that question.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much for putting that question. Police are working according to the laws of the country. When accident occurs, police will go and measure the scene and then come and build a file and then investigate how it happens. What's the cause of the accident? And then give a report and put the matter before the court. According to the laws, after measuring the scene, when you come to the station, it's his right, the driver's right to be bailed, be given bail that let him come and report another day and the vehicle be assessed and be released. You understand? Unless it is a serious matter where somebody involved has a serious injury or dies life, then the vehicle will not be released on that day. Unless all other things are done, then the vehicle will be tested and be released.
Yes, because right now, medium can local language, because ankaje problem jama nyaketa mol kane report from police olia e Bogota Ministry of Works or National Roads Authority atolla a report to accident jam mon kasabu mol mel ka tamse wala kasa wala drive wala wala kasabu kadun ya fa nyamen there are science will be silo kane akamunta mo jama me understand e ka tu tambe kan cross da manokan e jama be je juma la kasabu tamala la njom fo drive woni nam
abaraka nyin ko mo important tabake accident wala ko silo kan fana wati dol a manke ko lombali yale mo bar wati don dol kam mem folen ko daji ko kam ma nyame wole kan accident dol ka soto silo kan for example ite mem moto borni kan kabindar lansino ni police olia ye nyinin ka sartol belal yo sartol be jabi ya be ande kala nyame say mbali say mam police oje damen dong ite fana mi mal ko men diate wole ka accident dol sinatama la dol fana bije wol fanan ka accident ko si faye amanke dawda dong nyanta silo kuntula jere da be manke sila kuntula ne be silo kuntula hani be lola silo kam fan amanke ko ina fulo silo janjang la dong yelo mané sin kondingul fon tara manoka o mo nyen kela e nyanda jam fala manola demanding melon ko olmo ay metere lulu si melon ko ni be moto londele si bulo wuli na nyaayeje pour silo bari dol kanal fo e katara mano fon le kan pour que bulo wuli ni moto li moto mu fennede mi yalan ko sentane fengol wati dolu baro ko kanale na kana ro nyama abe ite men jandi be borla be wutuma futatem wala si doje abe fengol mi yalan ko say wala mun na problème men kata mobile ode asara ni mobile o makan abe silo tema kan wara be diamon telephone do abe silo kuntula o be mun ko mi yalan ka accident na de silo kan sinna tamola al fanay.
Interesting. Yes, man, I'm not learning what's all of it. I'm going to explain if it's zebra crossing be a road path. Munga see there again ko emphasize. Pour guy muna ham falan wara jala tali ak fuñ wata jala tali.
am na solo lol zebra crossing manam moy mandarga yi nekk ci kaw tali bi luñ dé def yu weex yooyu noonu manam peinture yu weex yooyu ñu dé def ci kaw tali bi waaw normally yu ci gëna bari sax ci bunti école yi lañ ko dé def ak public crossing like Westfield yang ko am fofu nonu manam fofu boy jala yoon fofu ngay dem be nga ag fofu nonu bo agé fofu nekkoon ne parce que dañ ko def fofu nonu fofu moy sa raid bo ñëwé rek da nga jala nga dem dafa am luwaay ak sartay yow mi dox sa tank bo ñëwé be fofu nga xamné fi la wara jaar ma dem ci benen bor bala nga jaar da nga wara xol sa ndeyjoor ak sa chamoñ ngay xol auto yi joggé sa chamoñ ak sa ndeyjoor bo gisul ben auto du ñëw bobu budé yo kenn la sax auto bu nekk di ñëw mën nga gaaw nga gën
I understand there's a caller. Yeah, hello caller. hello assalamu alaikum kola ito dun ani ibe kelne min tole
jabulong
ibe min tole teng
talindi
talini lepp ko mo ne fon ñu programme moto okay baraka bake yes
waaw li ma doon booy jaala zebra crossing dafa am sartay loolu laa doon wax noonu foo ngay xool sa deyjoor ak sa caamoy oto mbaa oto ne ko di ñëw oo noonu waaye bu dee trafic si sax bari na sax oto yi bari nañ di jaalaay yooyu noonu ñëw leen ngeen ut du yow kenn boo ñëwee da nga war a jaar xaaral bi keneen ñëw ngeen am yenn ñaar ñetta mbaa ñeneen boo leen taxawee foofu noonu driver yi léegi dañ leen war a taxaw ñu may leen benn minute ngeen jaar mooy doxkat ñun dañ war a xam loolu nekkul ne fu nekk lañ war a jaar benn mu ngi ñoo sonal fu nekk lañ dee cross yoon loolu correctut moo tax ñu am zebra crossing foo gisul zebra crossing nga gis police officer muy signal dem leen ba booraam boo leen taxawee ngeen bugg a jaala police officer dina leen arrêté trafic bi yéen ngeen jaala waaye ju si bari dañoo gis ne police officer dafa taxaw fele ne di dimbale ñiy cross ngay gis ñeneen ñi cross fele ne fekk trafic bi so li si bari problème yi si bari ñun suñ boppa ñoo xamul naka la ñuy war a jëfandikoo ak tali bi maanaam muy doxkat booy suñu right la tamit driver yi tamit dañu dee tooñ.
waaw yes Bakary I understand there's another caller yes hello caller.
Hello, Aliou.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I am Lamin Sane calling from Bundung.
Okay, Lamin, welcome.
It is very, very important. This topic is very, very important.
Okay.
Especially what the man from GRA is saying.
NRA, that's National Rough Authority.
Man, yes.
Exactly, yeah.
If you look at it, the Gambia, only demarcated places is in Banjul. Only Banjul and some part of Fajara, this traffic light area, Fajara area.
Okay. So what do you think should be done to ensure that the safety of these pedestrians is assured?
It's absorbed. One thing is, let them make sure that this highway, for example, this Bohol highway, Bundung Serekunda highway, you look at it, even the where you should stand and where the stop is, it is even less than 2 meters away from the highway.
Okay.
So that's not be done. They should have at least, all the compounds within the highway should have at least leave the highway 5 or 7 meters away from the highway.
Yeah, interesting. All right, thank you so much for those views. Mr. Drame, yamo I meant for mojaba kong demarcation no nying portale dolba fola mola daji kwalem drive wol man person soto mol fana man person soto. Atol alla ministry albemuns efforts di malta pour ka alni police le communiquer isaji mo jama jani ikela lansino fon soto yenyi be understand aka munta gemu problem balti mo le how jiring
ha wo mu tonyaleti because Nea Jube is unfortunate because Nea Jube moment kafa accident auto Nea Jube coming akatambi dunia kuna tambita million ning fennale million ning keme saba ning fen
it's like 1.5 million
1.335 million
you have about like 50 million people getting injured
menuka injured golem wol tambita million talulal so ne ajube fan sign coming funding ke wol many alon ko ila life be 5 years to 29 ning accident ke fa nyame ne ajube nyin sasa ko tangol wol be ke fa nyam so road accident dindongol la fa jama akasun wala so wala tin nyin ko kumayata so ministry nganyin ko nga la kumaya jele andu nga jube fana ko fenne nyen na kelaje so wala tin na ministry nga committee londi mi alon ko road safety committee after nata working group ol fana londi so nga na programme ol landi so wala tin nyim programme ol tem fam be menke kan go bebe wala kono because neya jube sensitization wala pour kamol hakilolu bulande ko la akumayata bakele muna akumayande because neya jube accident jamabe je 90% akake hadama dingola erolati
yeah.
So
it's more like a man-made thing.
Yeah, it's a man-made thing. Yeah, so walatin wati nyanna nyo hakil bulandila le kol men yalon ko nyanna kela. So nyinang ning ala yake na programol min be laring. Amanke ko fang comme mina TV doronato o mbita radio station ol da malato o mbeta rajanda malato even up rural areas all. Mbita jele nga futa community sol bon ni mole kacha nga kuol fanal ki men yalan koy nyanna kela comme kuol men fanal yalan koy be sundi silo la mol yalan ka men complain baake because ne ajube fana comme nying speed home sol thing sleeping police.
I understand there's another caller. Hello caller.
Hello.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah, I say what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Abdurrahman. I'm calling from Kanifing.
All right, welcome to the program. Oh, that caller is gone. Actually, he was our last caller, by the way. Just summarize it because we're running out of time, Mr. Drane.
Okay.
We have 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, come for thing. Na program also ning alake this year. Be fintela mol kane ni mole kacha kol men yalon ko nyanna kela. Mul ka complain kol men la nga jube mbe fenkala nyame because ne ajube abulata kol konol men yalon ko ka ko comme sleeping police ol katara dame be ka pentrol sota nim fengol so mbewol talal ngi pentur dulal to fana men yalon ko sulata sleeping police ol lamba trala le ngawul fanal keje zebra crossing ol men yalon ko nyanna taraji school ol to mbitaji le nga dindingol ni kacha comme be silol kuntu la nyame pour ka long. So ninga like dal this year mbe kujamal ke la men yalon ko be na plano kono andu ninga like ntol hamu menti wala pro accident nga talaba ke Gambia kono because ne ajube sign accident nya kalafa ba ke ne ajube the last quarter of 2020 accident men from keta is
I think from 2019
it's too much. So walatin all hands should be on deck to do something. So for us at our level at the ministry we are doing the coordination level, and then we are working with all the relevant stakeholders. We work closely with the police, the NRA. They are all part of the working group. They are all part of the road safety committee. Even today because we have developed the work plan for 2020. Today we had a meeting to develop 2021. Today we developed we had a meeting to work on the action plan. So it's really time for action.
Very important.
Yeah.
Mr. Mane, we're running out of time. Your last words before we.
Well, my last word would be let's all work together. This is a concern for everybody. The accident rate in this country is unacceptable. The only way we can bring this this rate down is when we all come together and see where we are not performing and we upgrade. Let's all change the way we work and things will be better in this country.
Thank you so much. Mr. Bojang, in less than 10 seconds, what will be your advice to the public?
Thank you very much. We advise the public to be aware of the traffic rules and regulation. And the police are doing everything possible to see that there is road safety on the road.
Thank you so much. Well, viewers, with that, we come to the end of this live broadcast here on QTV. As I said, we were discussing about a very important issue, the issue of road safety, actually focusing on pedestrian safety. And with me in the studio is our Director of Planning at the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Bakari Mane from the National Roads Authority, and Chief Inspector Amadou Bojang from the Community Policing. I hope you have learned a lot as far as road safety is concerned. Do join us next week. Until then, keep washing your hands and maintain social distancing. We are in a pandemic. For most of us, we are experiencing our first global pandemic in our lifetime. Keep safe and then maintain safety while you use the road. Thank you and bye-bye.